bring up the charts for TamilNad Mercantile Bank. The bank also reported its earnings yesterday, and if you look at the PAT numbers, it was higher by about 11% on a year-on-year basis, coming in at around 253 crore rupees. Your NPA also that's seen a reduction on a quarter-on-quarter basis, both the gross NPA levels as well as the net NPA levels. Let's understand from the management what's the way forward going on. What's the way forward that they are penciling in for TamilNad Mercantile Bank. We have Mr. S. Krishnan, who's the MD and CEO of the bank, joining us on the show right now. Very good morning to you, Mr. Krishnan. Thank you so much for joining us on ET now. And firstly, let me dwell into your earnings, especially the 8% quarter-on-quarter advances growth that you've registered. If you could explain to us as to from where are you seeing the advances growth, the contribution that have come in for your advances growth. Also, can we say that you will look to grow at least 4 to 5% sequentially on your book going forward?
See, I will be growing in advances during 23-24 by about 12 to 15% overall, right? And it will be spread almost, we are taking steps to see that we are able to maintain a uniform increase in all the quarters. With that, I think I should be able to do the growth. 12 to 15% should be a modest growth, which we will be able to achieve.
To 15% of growth outlook coming in. Hello, Mr. Krishnan. This is Shrishti joining in. Great set of numbers this time around, but help us understand where is the growth currently coming from and which segments are supportive for you?
Yeah, if you look into my quarter-on-quarter, that is the sequential quarter, if you look into, my advances have grown by 8%, as you said, of which the retail has grown by about 3.5%. The agriculture has grown by about 9%. The MSME is around 3.5%. So the total RAM has come to about 5.33%. The corporate percentage-wise may be a misleading one because the base is too small. So that is again another about 1,500 crore or something. There was an increase in the corporate and others, AAA rated. That is how the growth has come.
Let's talk about your expectations for FY24. You were expecting a loan growth of around 12 to 15%, while the system loan growth is estimated around 15%. You have a low base, you are well capitalized. So if you could explain to us why such a loan growth target that you've set for yourself for FY24.
Yeah. No, see, what number I gave is basically on a conservative basis. It is the tradition of the bank that we outperform or exceed what we commit. But what you say is perfectly right with a small base, why it should be. And definitely, I expect that I will be able to grow more than that. We are also working on a business strategy, which I will be taking to the board very shortly, after which I may be able to give you a better picture about the growth as to how it will be. Definitely what I said is the lowest one which we will be doing it.
Okay, Mr. Krishnan, advances growth guidance for FY24 is coming at 12 to 15%. But let me switch to your deposit side. This time around, sequentially, I've seen a growth of 10%. Tell us, is this growth number sustainable? Because the market is quite competitive and you are still holding grounds with a good set of numbers coming in, good growth. How does this mean that you're focused on garnering liabilities as well going forwards? And what is the growth outlook on the same?
See, why it was 10% in Q4 and was not earlier much? The answer is that, in fact, I am very, very cost conscious. You know that today the liability cost is increasing. In the last year, if you look into 22-23, with the tightening of the funds, the cost was increasing. But I was looking into the optimum CD ratio. I believe that the optimum CD ratio is something around 75 to 80%. And then I have been waiting for increasing the rate. Now we did, and we are mobilized. As and when it is required, we will be stopping also. We have a good customer base. Going forward, the growth, if you ask me, for the year 23-24, my overall deposit growth will be around 10%, where I also focusing on increasing my CASA. The whole idea is to make the CASA to reach a level of 35% in the next 3 years.
Right. With this growth, we can actually see your cost of deposits rising pretty sharply. Is this the start of the pressure on your cost of deposits? Also, if you could tell us, where do you see it peak in the current financial year, that's FY24?
I don't think that it will further. Maybe if I have to take a cue from the Honorable Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, last MPC, where he said that it is a pass and not a pivot. If I have to take a cue of that, probably there could be a nominal increase in the next one, depending upon the inflation condition. Otherwise, I should say that it has almost peaked. Another 25 bips may increase, not more than that. This is what is my take.
Okay, Mr. Krishnan, just to follow up there, so would you say that the cost of deposits have peaked for you?
No, for me, it may not be much. In fact, if you look into, I always say that look at the net interest margin. If you look into the net interest margin, I have a net interest margin of 4.47, which is again one of the good one. I always say that I will be maintaining a NIM of more than 4%. Last time also, when you or your colleague was asking, when I had a quarter of 4.50, so I said that we will be having a NIM of 4%. So that we will be continuing for the 23-24 also as a guidance. We will be able to maintain at this level.
Okay, but Mr. Krishnan, when do you expect them to peak? Any near-term outlook if you can share with us?
No. 4.1 I may not go. Though I say a guidance of above 4, I may not be going. But even if that is, it will take end of the year or even the next financial year.
Right. Let's talk about the interest rate hike. You know, the pace of the interest rate hike has been pretty sharp. If you could talk to us about how is it affecting your existing and new customers, especially the RAM customers on the asset side, and also is this environment that we are in, are you comfortable on the positioning front?
The thing is that it is a fact that the rate hikes will be definitely pinching the borrowers. More so, as you said, that I am in the private sector, MSME. When I look into the RAM segment, which you said, naturally the RAM segment is one which is more fragile than the corporate who can have a deep pocket. But it all goes with the selection of borrowers, the underwriting standards, the monitoring, hand-holding of these MSMEs, which the bank is well aware, well-trained employees. With that, we are able to curtail the slippages. Not only the slippages, but also if you look into my numbers of SMAs, it has sharply come down from about 12% to 6% or something like that. So we are able to improve the recovery efficiency, collection efficiency we are able to improve. Hence, I feel that going forward, I don't see much of a challenge which I will be having, though yes, there has to be, being in the RAM segment, more focus. The monitoring and the collection efficiency, the collection group ought to be on the toes.
Okay, with this, we'll let you go on that, Mr. Krishnan. Thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now and wishing you all the best. As you say that you are looking forward to exceed your guidance that you have just shared. So we'll watch out for that as well. Thank you so much.